So Chainsaw Man, am I right? Am I right? Chainsaw Man. It's Chainsaw Man. Hello everyone. Hello, hello. So I think I should state as a themes and such person. Themes and such. There you go. If you're doing the drinking game, you can do it now. Uh I thought the ending was okay. The more I think about it, the more I actually like it. Also, let me know how the audio is, because I think my interface is like not having a good time right now. So if I sound like blown out, let me know, because actually I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. There we go. Um, I think the ending. So how do I start this? How do I start this? I think the ending is okay, and I actually like it. The more I think about it, the more I think about it, the more I like it. Right? Hold on. Actually, let me make this. It's it is not a whiteboard, but it is notepad. It is notepad, if that counts for anything. um so all right, how do I start this? Okay. So, I think the best thing I can do, because I kind of made a list of the stuff I liked and the stuff I didn't like, and the stuff I'm like, yeah, he chained on my saw till I have it. This is your last warning, by the way. If you haven't read it and you plan on reading it and you don't want spoilers, uh, get out of here. Get out of here. This is your last chance. I'm gonna be spoiling everything. I'm gonna be spoiling the entire series. And why I actually don't hate this ending as much as a lot of people do. So, let me actually do a reverse compliment sandwich. We're gonna actually do an insult sandwich. Uh, actually, because I feel like the stuff I disliked is gonna be a lot less, like, easy to is a lot easier to talk about. I felt like he gave up. I don't necessarily agree with that, and I will explain why. Okay, so here's, you know what? Actually, we need to make an Asa sandwich. We're gonna make our Asa sandwich here. This is the Asa compliment sandwich. Or I guess, yeah. So this is the compliment sandwich for poor Asa. For poor Asa here. Um, Let me make the font smaller. This is the thing with WordPad. It's all, or Notepad. It's like impossible to do anything easily. Okay. So the first good that I liked. At the beginning of part 2. At the beginning of part 2. Asa had a little character arc herself in, like, the first chapter, where she hates Bucky and she hates her classmates and she thinks they're all stupid. And the entire thing, and you can go back and reread it, by the way. You can reread chapter 1 if you don't remember what I'm talking about. The whole start of Chainsaw Man 2, of Chainsaw Man Part 2, is Asa deciding, you know what, actually, I want to make friends and connect with people. And the tragedy is that when she finally got to take that first step, she tripped and fell. Which is an ongoing thing, right? I think a lot of people remember Asa as a very bitter and jaded, I hate to say femcel. Uh, But she's not really. She's pretty lonely, and the reason that she latches on to Yoru and tries to uh you know, like make a connection with her is because she's so lonely and she thinks that she can, I guess, fix Yoru, because Yoru is like who she sees as a friend, even though Yoru never saw herself really as Asa's friend either. Um so the fact that she is able to avoid tripping. Oh, thank you for the membership, Breezy Days. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. Saved from tripping. Saved from tripping by Denji, and I'll get to this and why I actually really like this when I talk about Denji. Is good. I like that because the whole thing is she was finally wanting so badly to connect, and then tragedy struck. And that kind of is an ongoing theme in Chainsaw Man. The fact that she is able to not kill Bucky, right, is great. I think that Denji saving her from killing Bucky is a fantastic thing. I think that that's great. That being said, Asa's in a bit of a weird position because her whole situation is unclear in this semi-new timeline, right? Are her parents still dead? Because if her parents are still dead, then she does not have the... she does not have the closure for her sins, survivor's guilt, which was basically the one good thing. Thank you so much for the membership. Thank you. She does not have closure for that, and because in the last few chapters, Yoru is the one who is like, girl, honestly, you ain't that bad. And Denji's like, girl, you ain't that bad. We're fine. We both fucked up. So her not having that kind of sucks. But that being said, it's kind of... in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of... Thank you for this membership, JVR. Oh, I'm sorry. The alerts are behind my notepad window here. Let me see. Where's this at? Bam. Sorry about that. Now they should be on top. So yeah, that sucks because frankly the whole I always trip at the wrong moment was like a really good moment. And I really liked that for her. So it not being addressed is a little weird. But that being said, I'm actually not super unhappy with her ending. And I'm gonna say why. Because I have to talk about Denji also. This is gonna be a little disjointed, even though I made a list. I did make a list of things. I don't actually mind that she was kind of sidelined here. Because Asa's character arc, if you look at it, was partially resolved in chapter 1 of part 2. Or chapter 1 or 2 of part 2. She hates devils, she doesn't connect with people, and then she wants to connect with people. And that's basically what she needed, is to be able to connect with people. And even though it is very anticlimactic for her to just not trip, the tripping has always been what causes the issue, and now she finally had someone who is there to help her not trip or to help her from falling. Well, we saw the character development already. It would just be a repeat of chapter 1 because chapter 1 wouldn't have changed much at all. We are seeing the moment that she is running and about to trip on Bucky. But the difference now is that somebody did catch her. Which she was always alone. To the point to the point where she saw Yoru as a companion despite Yoru being horrifically manipulative. Right? And in this world she has never seen Denji, presumably. And now not only is she reaching out to her classmates to make connections, she is also saved by a stranger, unlike in the past timeline where basically everyone who ever talked to her or seemed to have helped her had other alternate like motives, right? Like the whole thing in the orphanage where they drowned the cat and things like that. Yeah, I ended up not actually napping, so I apologize. I really wanted to yap. I really haven't gone through much yet. Asa to quote Yoru in the last chapter we saw her, Asa's sins are not that big. Asa's sins are not that big. She's actually normal. She's very normal. And the fact that Asa's closure is just her being normal and making connections equals good. I really like that. Here, I'm gonna make this label equal bad. Bad question mark. I will put that there because I don't necessarily know if that's bad. Yeah, it's I don't know necessarily if it's bad that she isn't ruminating on it, but I think the implication is that if she was able to make those connections in the first place and felt confident in talking to others and not isolating herself, that it wouldn't be a huge deal, right? Because ultimately the thing that really caused the survivor's guilt spiraling is Yoru using her body to kill a fuck ton of people, which she didn't want. That's when you start to see Asa's character devolve and start to self-isolate in part 2. Is after Yoru just starts wreaking havoc. So if that doesn't happen, she could potentially actually just go to therapy and live a normal life, right? So yeah, sometimes just people get looking like, yeah, exactly, Shiny Olivia. So yeah, so I think that's my Asa sandwich. I'm conflicted. Overall conflicted on how her character was treated in P2. Because I do understand her self-loathing and just giving up later on in the part. That being said, I feel like the resolution at the end with Yoru could have been more. Could have been a bit more. I really liked the speech with Yoru, right? I liked Yoru's speech with her. Honestly, this is kind of why I disagree that they just that Fujimoto decided at the last second that this was going to be the ending, right? Because that very much was a final speech, a final mother talking to her daughter and telling her, don't, you're not that bad. I don't get it. I don't get why you know. I don't know why. I don't know why you feel this bad about yourself, because honestly, frankly, you aren't that bad. No mention of Aki. Well, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So, Asa... Asa's kind of... This is gonna sound like slander. Asa's kind of potential man. And I don't necessarily think she was ever meant to be. In a vacuum, the story of someone who is so desperate for connection that she literally sells her soul to the devil. You can share your interpretation, yeah. And then regrets it to the point where she just lets that devil take her over is not bad, right? Asa just needed... Asa needed friends. Asa needed friends, and the implication here is that now she is making friends. That is all she wanted. She just wanted connection. She wanted connection so badly. So, if you go back and you read chapter 1, I think that it is a good ending for her, that she gets to do that. And now I have to... So, okay. So we're gonna move from our Asa sandwich here to the Asa Den sandwich. Because this is where I think people are getting a little lost in the sauce. I think people are kind of missing it. The last meaningful interaction we had between Denji and Asa was them in the alleyway, and Denji saying, me and Pochita will make a new world where you can be happy, where we can all be happy. And that is what happened. And on a level, on this level, Pochita recreated the timeline. And then Denji made her happy by stopping her from tripping. They did successfully create a world where she can be happy. Denji is not aware of this anymore. Denji is not aware of this promise anymore. However, he still managed to do it by giving her what she wanted in the beginning, which is to not always fuck up and trip and ruin, right? Because the thing you have to remember is that when that promise to make a new world happened, Denji did specifically mention, Pochita and I will make you a new world. We will kill that devil, and you can join us in this new world. Pochita is the only one that didn't make it there, theoretically. We don't know. I was gonna get to Pochita in a second, but I think we do have to accept that the use of giving him a chainsaw at the end when the chainsaw devil should have been erased means that Pochita was never actually the chainsaw devil. I think he's a chaos devil. Potentially, I don't know, there is the whole, like, birthing thing that is mentioned by Angel in part 1, where Angel Devil mentions, like, the first thing you hear when you're reborn in hell is a chainsaw. It's the sound of a chainsaw. So I think it's more likely that he's some sort of weird, like, rebirth devil that would make sense with A, what chainsaws were originally designed to do, which was to help give birth, and also, you know, tie with the eating devils and spitting them back up. So probably something like that. We will probably never know for sure, nor do I actually think it's that important. Because Pochita, at the end of the day, is Pochita. To Denji, that is his best friend and the only one that ever wanted him to truly be happy until he met, like, his family, right? So, his true identity has never mattered. Pochita's true identity has never ever mattered. The secretly womb man. Just... let's see. I don't necessarily think that they needed to be together. Asaden, get back to Asaden. I don't think they needed them to be together at the end. I think in the world that they were in before, that companionship was something built out of desperation on both parts. Asa wanted to save someone for once, instead of tripping and falling and fucking up and killing someone, and Denji craved intimacy. Is part 2 over? Yes, part 2 just ended today. People just aren't bored anymore. Tell what Makima is all about. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna get to our good random friends that showed up there. Them not getting together in the new timeline is fine. I don't care. I don't really care about that. I think that they potentially could be friends, but also, at the end of the day, I think it's pretty clear that them meeting at all was a once-in-a-lifetime coincidence. It doesn't seem like Denji is planning on going to school in this timeline. And so I think his service to Asa in this timeline is to save her, to let her make connections. Too busy dying from tuberculosis. Power Dead. No! I don't like Power Dead as a romantic ship. Sorry, gamers. If they never meet again, that's also fine. That's also fine. At this point, neither of them need each other. Neither of them need each other, and I think that's fine. If they do end up meeting again, it won't be from Yoru manipulating her into, you know, dating him and all that. I think they could get together. They could. I don't know. But also it's likely that they will just... that this was their encounter, and that's fine. That's fine, too. That's fine, too. So I'm actually okay with how that ended. I also like the other thing of Denji, when he saves her from tripping, drops the chainsaw. which is so on the nose. Which is so on the nose that I am a little baffled that people don't like it or are saying it doesn't mean anything. Denji's entire story, themes and such. There you go, themes and such. Now you can have another drink. I want to talk about Denji in his own section, so I'm not gonna get too into it. But I think it's poignant that both Asa and Yoru were the only ones that ever truly liked Denji for Denji. And in the end, he is saving Asa as himself and not with a chainsaw, you know? I think that is very good. I like that a lot, actually. Themes and such. I'm gonna drink some water. Should they kiss? Fanfiction writers, it's your turn. It's your turn. It's that My Hero Academia image. It's your turn now. Pochita, the good boy. I still don't like his wording of you can only be happy in suffering, but I'm starting to think that was just really poorly worded. Because I do get it. I saw a post earlier that was basically Chainsaw Man is a battle shonen that can only achieve a good happy ending if the protagonist is not the protagonist. And I actually agree with that a lot. My biggest complaint with the Pochita thing is that it feels like it kind of just came out of nowhere. It feels like we missed like a few chapters or something, right? It's like without pain there's no pleasure. Exactly. Pochita so very truly loves Denji with all his heart. And the panel of him finally getting to hug someone as himself actually did make me emotional. Pochita is a devil. At the end of the day, he's a devil. And even though he truly wants what's best for Denji, his thing of our contract is that you're going to live the life you want, the dream life you want, is a fundamental misunderstanding of people, right? Of humans. There's, how do I word this? There's a difference between dreams and reality, obviously. Denji's whole pact with Pochita relied on him fulfilling those dreams. That's not a bad thing, but it also led to... And this isn't just a part 2 thing. I see people talking about Denji's desperation to get laid, like, as a part 2 exclusive thing, but he's still like that at the end of part 1, also. Where Denji is like, okay, well, I have to live this good life and, you know, give Nayuta hugs and things like that. Don't forget the pool scene. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's, I I think Pochita being like, all right, you know what? Honestly, I did save your life last time, but I don't think it actually made you happy. Isn't incorrect. Yeah, it isn't incorrect. And it's kind of, I'm trying to think of how to word this. I think Pochita erasing himself was the only way things were going to get resolved ever. And with that, it's time to it's time to talk about Denji. It's time to talk about Denji. It's time to talk about my boy Denji. I do agree. The pacing of part 2 is extremely strange. I think that is my biggest criticism, because in a vacuum, this ending is fine. But it did kind of feel like a strange, like, left hook. The chapter before the finale. But, you know, whatever. So Denji, this is where I think that a lot of people are gonna disagree with each other. I mean, how did we even get here, and how did Pochita do it? I think Pochita's, I don't think Pochita knows Pochita's powers. But I think that a lot of this is okay. Okay, hold on. Let me put it this way. I think people are missing the forest for the tree, or missing the forest for the trees. Pochita's power has never been consistent, and it's even textually explained that nobody knows how the fuck it works. Like, they say it multiple times that no one knows how it works. And at the end of the day, we're not gonna get those answers because it doesn't matter. Chainsaw Man isn't really Pochita's story. Chainsaw has a storied history that is brought up a lot in part 1 especially. His relationship with the other devils, you know, things like that. What happened before. Like, we still don't really know how he ended up as a little dog outside of, you know, he got in a fight with the horsemen. And frankly, it's never mattered. Admittedly, maybe I'm just like, I'm a big, like, visual novel fan. So, and I like a lot of, there's a lot of works, especially like Kanoko Nasu works, where the powers don't actually matter. They're there to assist the world and the plot for moving along, and they exist to be broken for the narrative. I don't think it's an accident that Pochita's powers and and history and relationships are left vague. They're there to be themes and such. There you go. There's another drink for you. There's another drink for you. They're there to be themes and such. Like, I see a lot of people being like, Fujimoto forgot how the power worked, or he didn't explain X and Y. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what kind of devil Pochita is, what he does, it never mattered to the narrative. He's he's a guy who his biggest thing is that he also craved companionship and is thus empathetic to those who also want that too. And notably, his desire to give people hugs without killing them is probably the only real part of the chainsaw thing that matters. Like, I don't like when people say Fujimoto for gore, because he doesn't really. He says over it, like, the narrative and the like dialogue within the story are like, we don't know how Chainsaw's powers work. Oh, oh, I don't know. And I think that he's kind of emblematic of like, why don't we know this? Why don't we know that? Why don't we? Fujimoto didn't explain this. in in a story, in a story, when you are an author, you get to decide how much is consistent and how much isn't. Yeah, he wants you to make your own conclusions. It's not. I said pointless is a bad meaning to it. It's or a bad word I used there. Sorry. It's more. It's more. It doesn't matter to the narrative. So whatever answer you come up with is probably fine. Is Pochita the birth devil? Is Pochita the like some weird like god creature? We don't know. He could be anything. Is he the chaos devil? Is he this? Is he that? Maybe. We don't know. He could be the rebirth devil. He could be the rebirth devil or something like we don't know. We don't know, and it doesn't really matter. But whatever conclusion, yeah, he's the friend devil. Whatever conclusion you come up to, yeah, he's the themes and such devil, is probably fine. And that's not like a plot hole. That's just like he's the Umineko devil, the Isekai devil. I was actually sitting there thinking, when I was seeing people's reaction to the chapter, I'd say they're like, this too is Umineko. This too is Umineko, really. But yeah, so it doesn't matter. Whatever theory you have, whatever game theory you have, it can be correct. So whatever you want it to be. So now we get to Denji, and I feel like Denji is definitely going to be the point of contention for the ending. Dennis Chainsaw. Dennis Man. And the reason why is because Fire Devil choice equals doesn't matter, question mark. I would also, okay, I'm also gonna say I'm pretty much talking about this with the understanding of the Big Lebowski interview thing. So, you know, I don't really care to really get into all the dropped plot points because with the Big Lebowski with the Big Lebowski interview in mind, it does make sense that all these characters return, disappear, there's just shit happening, and none of it matters. That being said, I mean, I was talking about this on Zitter, the Everything app. The whole thing with the Big Lebowski is that the reason, spoilers for the Big Lebowski, I guess, if you haven't watched the Big Lebowski, the whole thing is that it is a movie about a guy who happens to share the name of another guy that a lot of stuff happens to. Like, that is the whole plot. Nothing that happens within the Big Lebowski directly is supposed to involve the main character of the Big Lebowski. And in his own way, Denji is not Pochita, but the narrative and everything that happens around him. No, Big Lebowski is a very classic movie, a comedy movie starring Jeff Bridges, actually. You guys might not know, but I actually took film classes. I went to pretentious school and took film classes and things like that. So sorry, I have my pretentious themes and such pipe, you know. Yes. Yeah, it's Jeff Bridges. Um, Basically, yeah, like Travier said, the Denji is the dude, and Pochita is the actual Lebowski. Everyone wants Chainsaw Man, and Denji just kind of happens to be that. Like, all the stuff with the Chainsaw Church, all that shit, is entirely just, like, happening around Denji and about Denji slash Chainsaw Man, but never involving Chainsaw Man. And I think that this is, like, really obvious. When you look back at part 2, there are 3 different fake Saw men. Presumably. There's the one we first saw that, like, never showed up again after the Falling Devil thing. There's that student the Devil Hunters Club guy who surgically implanted a cord into his chest, which was never brought up again. And then there's the last fake Saw man with the Fire Devil. I don't think Denji really interacted with most of them in any meaningful way. Yeah, exactly. Denji in part 2 is not a driving protagonist. And he doesn't he doesn't really want to be there either. If somebody can actually name a part of part 2 where Denji was happy to be involved in the story, please let me know, because off the top of my head, I can't remember. If anything, Asa was the actual driving protagonist, and something that really... Aquarium. That's fair. Basically anything pre-Nayuta death, I guess, kinda. Okay, we got the aquarium. Okay, that's one, and that's pretty early on. Something that always bothered me was how Asa had that whole, like, off screen, like, she's a famous devil hunter now arc, and it always kind of pissed me off that we didn't see that. But thinking on it now with the whole thing in mind, it's because Asa's the protagonist. And Denji, and since we're following Denji really by that point, it doesn't involve him. We get the Denji perspective after a certain point. And I still don't necessarily think that that was handled the best. The problem with Asa as both the driving protagonist and also a side character it makes it complicated. What about Denji Man? That's what I was actually gonna get to, because another thing I noticed a lot of people upset about is that Pochita made the choice, not Denji. And this is the same thing with the Fire Devil, right? Even up till the end, and this is something that also happened in part 1, I believe, Denji can't make that choice. He is unable to make the choice of whether to be Chainsaw Man or whether to be Denji. And a lot of folks are like, why didn't he make that choice? And I feel like Denji's mindset, and this is really hammered in the Aging Devil arc, is he's just going to keep moving, and it doesn't matter what happens. He'll just find a new family, a new thing, blah blah blah. He does, you know. And I think Denji Man is the culmination of that. He is no longer Denji or Chainsaw Man. He is this gross amalgamation. I mean, it's a cool design, but, like, it's an amalgamation where he is no longer himself. He is no longer Denji, the human that was Pochita's friend. By choosing to be Denji Man, he is basically chucking the dreams that Pochita, he shared with Pochita, right? He just wanted to, like, have family and have connections and, you know, eat good food and, like, toast with jam and date a girl, kiss a girl, you know, like, things like that. But by choosing to become Denji Man, he intrinsically tied himself to a third, more toxic choice. He's like, I don't have to choose. I will just choose a different option that gives me everything, except it also takes away everything. And Pochita's stepping in. Pochita is a good friend because he sees this self-destruction and is like, okay, bro, no. No more of that. I have enabled you for too long. I have been your enabler for too long. And I love you. You are my best homie. You are the one who gave me true happiness. I gotta step in. I gotta step in. And that's not a bad thing. I think that's kind of an overarching thing in part 2. And is just wanting connections and wanting someone to step in and help you. And Denji was that for Asa in the alleyway. And Pochita decided, you know what? You know what, dog? We can't let you get groomed again, man. We can't be doing this. We're not doing this again. You are imploding. Yeah, it's themes and such. Exactly. And I don't think it's bad that Denji gets help, because the end of part the end of part one is him only being able to take out Makima with power and Pochita's help. And in part two, he doesn't really have anyone and he's become Denji Man. He lost everything precious to him by not being able to choose between whether or not he wants to be Chainsaw Man or whether or not he wants to be Denji. So Pochita being like, okay, bro, look. As your friend, I am going to help you out. And that's not a bad thing. I like, the more I think about it, the more I don't hate it, you know? About 10 powers not gonna groom him. That is true. I think especially with Denji reaching out to help Asa from tripping, it's at the end of the day, it's Chainsaw Man isn't a story about a guy with super chainsaw arms who can do anything. It's a story about desperately lonely people wanting a connection and wanting someone to be the one to help them, or wanting someone to help them so badly. Yes, an intervention. As far and yeah, so I mean, and honestly, I think people are gonna disagree with that take, and that's fine. I'm not going to argue that someone's opinion is less valid than mine. I can only read the themes and such as I see them. Yeah, exactly. Like, Power and Aki truly cared about Denji, and I'm not going to take that away from them. And that's kind of my next thing, which is here's the major spoiler: Power is back. And she is the one who saves Denji this time. And I've seen some people be like, what the fuck, this feels kind of out of nowhere. But my counterpoint to this is that she did have a contract with him. And also, technically with Pochita. She did make that promise with Pochita. I don't necessarily... The chainsaw erasure powers are very vague on purpose so that they can just be used to do whatever. But it wouldn't surprise me if that held through. Because we don't really know if the reality reset, if it's a new reality, or like what? Because like it's possible that that contract could have held. But again, I think it's very much like, it doesn't matter. But also, somebody did point out that Aki's last wish to Makima was for Denji and Power to be safe and to survive. And even though we don't see Aki here, he does get that, finally. So it's not entirely a downer. He does get it in his own, in a way. And I actually think that that's a really sweet touch. I think it's a little cheesy and a bit ass-pulley. But I don't hate it. I can't hate it. It's cute. It's cute, you know? I can't hate. I can't hate that it's a little tacky, you know? I cannot hate. I cannot hate. Because it's so sweet that Aki at least got one good thing going for him at the end. As far as Nayuta being the control devil, again, I wonder if Denji eating Makima originally just is the reason it stuck. Since again, he is technically Chainsaw Man, technically. Or he was. So maybe Makima is just gone, period. Yeah, it's also possible, because the thing with Pochita also is that since he was running around, and this is another thing with Pochita, he he did run around erasing shit that he decided was harmful to humans, right? He erased a lot of things that I'm not gonna get into, like, obviously. And by not existing, that also means he's not running around killing a bunch of devils in hell. So they aren't gonna be respawning on Earth. So overall, probably less devils. Probably less devils. Most likely. I do think the control devil being Nagito with the exact same personality is extremely strange. Because it's implied in Nagito's chapters that she only became like that after living with Denji. But whatever. That's fine. Did the Death Devil prophecy get resolved? This is another thing. The Death Devil prophecy. I think that it was fulfilled due to the fact that the last thing we saw before, you know, Dennis got eaten is all the humans were just getting eaten by bugs. So theoretically, when the Death Devil did descend, shit did go bad. It did go bad, even if it wasn't necessarily how she imagined it would go. The very, very key trying to stop fate, but not being able to, but accidentally leading to it. Yeah, I mean, in that situation, I don't know if it doesn't count since they can't die. since they can't die. But also, again, I think it didn't really matter. Denji wasn't really involved in that outside of just being Chainsaw Man. Is that a good way to treat a long-running manga? That's up for debate. Which has mostly been my big statement, is that The Big Lebowski and Pulp Fiction that inspired it, where a bunch of shit happens, but it doesn't actually matter in the end, works really well as like a one-off thing, because like if you if you don't like that sort of closure, then that's like, okay, well, I just, you know, it was 3 hours of my time. It was like a few days. It was like a week reading Pulp Fiction, you know, whatever. versus waiting 5 years or whatever for Chainsaw Man, you know? Which I think is kind of the issue with most manga endings and why a lot of them just don't feel satisfying, especially nowadays when there's this entire culture around immediately reading it week to week, making judgment calls and theories, and then when the author doesn't live up to the hype that the fans created. No worries, you don't have to apologize. Then people will just be mad at it. And this isn't like a new thing, to be clear. I remember even back when Full Metal Alchemist ended, people weren't happy with that ending either. Even though, you know, I think that people, this is how you know I'm old. The manga, the Full Metal Alchemist manga. Yeah. This is how you know I'm old. This is like Pokemon X and Y, right? Everybody nowadays is like, wow, this was so beloved. This was truly the best era of Pokemon or whatever. But then you like go back and you see people arguing on whether or not whether or not Full Metal Alchemist's ending was good, whether or not Death Note's ending was good, etc., etc., etc. What was wrong with the Full Metal Alchemist ending? Nothing. Nothing, in my opinion. It's just, again, when you have like a long-running thing, and this was like the era where people were really theorizing on like Gaia Online and shit. If you build up something if you build up something in your head so much, then regardless of the author's intent, people will not like the ending. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Those expectations are inevitable. It's just how people cope with it. And I was saying this, here we go. Here's my themes and such. This is my big pretentious moment. So let me put this away. Unfortunately I don't have classical music downloaded right now, but here is my pretentious moment. Fujimoto and Chainsaw Man are the same because Fujimoto has been built up by the public as this guy who makes really good shit and doesn't make mistakes and is so much better than all those other shonen slop writers. Much like Chainsaw Man being this guy, he is Denji, but he is hyped up as the ultimate hype moments and aura Chainsaw Man. Now, do I think necessarily that Fujimoto thinks that? No, I don't think so. I think Fujimoto is just gonna keep doing what he's doing. I don't actually think he really cares that much about what fans think of his works, considering that everyone was losing their shit and he immediately was tweeting like, yeah, I saw Hoppers, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I liked it. I liked it. But I also think, and and not to psychoanalyze or analyze a real life person based off of interviews, obviously. Fujimoto loves art. And this is something that I've been worried about since reading some of the interviews. Fujimoto loves art. I think that people who argue otherwise can read Look Back, can read his story about the two sisters who, you know, are in art school. I think you can read like the Siren Rhapsody. This man loves art, but in interviews, I think around when part 2 started, or like the middle of part 2, he mentioned that if he ever does another weekly project, he would want to just write it and have someone else illustrate it. And that was at the point where I started to get worried. Because Fujimoto's works are so strange and out there and clearly written and worked on out of his own passion versus, you know, what maybe like publishers or fans want. Yeah, like that pretends to be 8. And him going like, if I do another series, someone else will draw it, makes me sad. It makes me sad. I think we need to destroy the weekly manga industry. I think we need to destroy weekly manga releases. It's too much, and I don't think that part 2's failings, or what people see as failings, are because Fujimoto is a fraud, which is what I've actually been seeing people say, is that his stuff has never been good, which is bullshit, and people know it. It's that I genuinely think he got burnt out. And I think that other than just the art decline, I think you can really see, like, there's around a specific time in part 2 where the chapters get really, really short. And I know a lot of people are like, I wish he had just taken a hiatus mid part 2 rather than rushing it, but I don't necessarily think he rushed it. I think he decided, I want this to be done because I don't want to do this anymore. And that's not something that a hiatus would fix. And I say this as a creator. Sometimes when you are writing something and it is not causing you joy, it is stressing you out, it is burning you out, the best thing to do is just to end it. It's not to be like, well, I'll just wait 2 years. And then maybe I'll feel better. Because that's not how it works. And I think, and again, I'm not Fujimoto, and I don't know his thought process, but as a creator myself, there have definitely been times where I've been working on something for so long that my feelings towards it become extremely negative, and I no longer want to work on it. And the fact that I have to finish it just makes me resent it more. And that's kind of the rub. Part 2 has issues. Part 1 has issues. I think most people, when they think about part 1, if you ask them their favorite part or the part where it gets good, they mention the very last arc. What most people remember as being really, really good from part one is the last arc. And like the Reed stuff. And how cool and awesome like Quan Chi is, you know? They remember the parts, the domestic parts with power and Aki, even though, frankly, in the manga, there's not a whole lot of that. If you actually go back and read it, because I actually started Chainsaw Man after part one was done. Because I heard it was like, oh, this like, you know, found family manga, and then you read it and it's like vaguely that until you get to like the end when it turns into that. And I don't know. I think after talking, my thoughts on the ending of Chainsaw Man as an ending to Chainsaw Man are actually more positive. Mostly because it's a chapter about letting go. He literally lets go of the chainsaw. Like, I don't know what else to say. We have to let go. At the end of the day, themes and such, yeah, themes and such. At the end of the day, whether or not you like the ending, it feels over. And I know a lot of people are like, Stranger Things, secret good episode, Sherlock, super good episode, like secret good episode, Chainsaw Man Part 3, trust. But I think it's time to let go. I think if Fujimoto had plans for a lot of arcs, I think that he no longer wishes to do them. And frankly, if I was him and my one-shot works, my weird art house one-shot works were doing super well and critically acclaimed, and that's what I liked doing, I would also be like, nah, we're not making more weekly. I'm done with that shit. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. And I think that would be 100% valid. I think that would be 100% valid of him. If he wants to make more, like, weird shit, I hope he does. I genuinely want him to. And I mean that sincerely. And for the sake of health, you know, of artist health, this is the true moral. This is the true moral of Chainsaw Man and Chainsaw Man Part 2. Here, I'm typing it out. Bam. We have to stop. We have to stop. It is time. It is time to stop. It is time. It is time to stop. Honestly, I will say, Lucari, I never actually read powers like, you have to find me and make me power again to be a literal thing. Because at the end, he does get to see power again, you know, through themes and such. But you can't turn someone into someone else. Whoever the new Blood Devil is, whether or not she's a fiend or just a pure devil, she could have never been power. She could have never been power again. I feel like that promise that Power made with him, that contract, was so that Denji would go on living. Because, not to be Shiro Emiya here, when people die when they are killed, and you can't bring people back. Naida isn't Makima, and the new Blood Devil wouldn't be Power. Well, she is just Power. That is just Power. That's the same body Power used, so that's just Power. That's literally just Power, I'm pretty sure, right? Because that's like the exact same body. It's just instead of meandering around with Meowie, she ran to help Denji. The nerd out of I'm so glad Meowie is back. Yeah, can we talk about the true hero? It's Meowie. Here, let me make this more this is my thesis statement. And the dogs too, and Aida. Like, I would be fine without a part 3. I think fanfic writers can fill out the rest. I personally don't think that there's a lot of times where there will be like a prequel or a sequel of something to okay, you know what? I'm not gonna vague post it. Fate Zero, this is me calling you out. I fucking hate Fate Zero. I'm sorry. You can write it on twitter.com. I don't care. I don't like Fate Zero. I'm sorry, I don't. I you don't always need to explain shit. I'm sorry, I don't need to know the specifics of Pochita's power. I don't need, like, a sequel series to, like, learn what Denji is eating for breakfast, or if he's gonna die of heart disease, or any of that. I'm sorry, I don't like Fate Zero. I like Waver. Does that count for anything? I'm not... People who have known me for a long time know I'm not the biggest Urobuchi fan. I think I like a grand total of 2 things he's written. I'm sorry, it's just not for me. If you like Fate Zero, that is what I'm not judging. Lots of people like it. Lots of people like it. Lots of people like Fate Zero. I just... When you read Fate Stay Night, when you read Fate Stay Night and then you go and read or watch Fate Zero, you're like, damn, dude, What are we doing here? I'm sorry, you can't make me like Kiritsugu. You can't make me think he's cool. I don't like him. I don't like him. He's a bad dad. You can't make him a cool, sexy anti-hero. I don't care. I'm sorry. I was completely fine with him just haunting the narrative in Fate Stay Night. And I know people might disagree with that, but I'm fine. I'm fine. And that's fine. I didn't need the carry plot. I didn't need his backstory. I could have it's fine. I didn't need it. I love when everything involves the Fate. It's just it's not just Fate. It's just Fate Zero was the first one I could think of where it's like I don't think this was a story that necessarily needed to be told. At least not in the way it was. And that's kind of my opinion. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Fate Zero fans. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Fate Zero fans. I mean, he did look cool, much like every UFO table Fate thing. It looked awesome, but like, I just... themes and such, I guess. So on, so on. Don't beat me with hammers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I if you like Fate Zero, that's fine. I'm not into it. I'm sorry. But that's a whole other discussion I could rant about. That's a whole other discussion. I'm not getting into it. This is about Chainsaw Man. This is about Chainsaw Man. So I can't talk about Fate Zero right now. If you guys want a Fate Zero rant, I'll make it a fucking members ASMR, and then you can beat me with hammers while I clean your ears. Chainsaw Man versus Fate. But yeah, I don't know. I don't need a part 3. That's kind of the I don't need a part 3. I think that it is fine. that it is not it just is end. It is will no more end. I also, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I don't think the Chainsaw Man ending is nearly as bad as others, also recent ones like Demon Slayer and JJK. I feel like both of those are worse, and I think comparing the Chainsaw Man ending to either of them is just slander. Like, that being said, My Hero Academia does win by doing nothing. It does win by doing nothing, and by nothing I mean it ends probably exactly how you would expect it would, and, honestly, good for it. Good for it. I can't argue that it certainly ended fine. My favorite part of the discussions about the My Hero ending... Thank you so much for the membership, Fire Hill. Thank you. My favorite part about the My Hero ending is someone pointed out that it's only really thought of as bad over here because we don't respect teachers. Which is so true. Yeah, I mean, on a scale of Fujimoto's works, I will admit I haven't actually finished Fire Punch because, much like a lot of Eroguro stuff I read, I have to be in a really specific mood for it. For really downer shit. uh, and I just really haven't been recently. So I still haven't finished Dead End Igus either. I haven't finished the second round of that. Um, but like of all his like one-shot stuff, I think I would put Chainsaw Man as a whole. I'm trying to. It's kind of hard to like judge a really long manga compared to like one-shots. But I think in terms, this is my own personal list of his major ones. And I'm not going to do the anthologies. So I think I can't, if out of the three that I feel like I would be able to rate, I think I like Look Back, Goodbye Eri, Chainsaw Man. And I don't have, like I said, I haven't finished Fire Punch, so I don't want to. I don't want to give it. I don't want to give it a rating. I haven't finished Fire Punch, so I don't feel confident confident rating it. I have seen, this seems to be the pretty standard ranking that I've seen, although I've also seen these two flipped. Which I think is fair. I feel like Goodbye Air is really good too. But I have such a soft spot for Look Back as like an artist. But I think if you aren't an artist, I could definitely understand Goodbye Eri like being higher. That being said, I don't think Chainsaw Man's bad. It's a good manga. It's a good manga, and I think that it's going to be... and I think that it is going to be really annoying to hear people slandering Chainsaw Man for the next 5 years, or... I don't know, is there a current beloved shonen manga happening that will probably end and take its place? Oh, yeah. Goodbye Eri still appeals to artists. It's mostly just, like, the journey here, I guess, in this one touches me personally. Compared less so to this. These two are pretty equal, though. Like, the problem is Chainsaw Man is going to be the new JJK punching bag for probably a really long time. Which is extremely annoying. Because I don't think it's that bad. And like I said, as I've been talking about it, I actually like it more than I liked it earlier. And I'm not looking forward to people who... Here's the thing, if you don't like the ending, that's 100% valid. Because, frankly, who am I to tell you what to like? Who am I to tell you what to like? That being said, I don't know if I can take it if I hear people complaining because everything wasn't immediately explained, tied up in a neat little bow. This too is Umineko. This too is Umineko, really. If you really think about it. This too is Umineko. We're gonna be getting like slander for weeks/years, which is so annoying. I hope people I hope people just let him make something else. And I hope that the publishers do not see social media backlash and decide not to let him make other things. Which has always been my big fear with social media likes and stuff being so important nowadays. Is that I think that it does affect what artists make. And that makes me very sad. And I'm not saying Chainsaw Man is high art, because I would be lying to myself. But I hope that people just let him move on. It was still art. I think Chainsaw Man has a lot of value, frankly. Especially as a shonen. And I don't think it's its fault that it got elevated to god levels on social media. And I'm... to be completely transparent, I don't read that many manga. I'm not, like, caught up with that many manga, because it takes too much time. I am so scared for when Spy Family, like, gets to the identity reveal part in 20 years or whatever. Because that shit has been built up so much, and so many people have these angsty theories and, like, everything like that, and I think everybody forgets it's a comedy manga. Like, I'm so scared. I'm so scared, guys. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Would be funny if he announced part 3 in 2 weeks. I would be shocked. If he does, I think one of his editors should beat him with a hammer so he's forced to take a nap for like a month. Like, good lord. Sakamoto days. I mean, admittedly, that is extremely funny. The tunnel effect is extremely funny. But yeah, I don't think I think that there will not be a part 3. That is my that is my pretentious opinion, is that there will not be a part 3 and that Fujimoto wants to make something else. He's gonna announce part 3, so it's just, what could they even explore in part 3? It's over. There's nothing left. Unless it becomes like a slice of life, like... slice of life school comedy following Asa. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people be like, but doesn't this mean that Denji is going to die of like the heart disease and things like that? And I mean, probably. Emiya Gohan. I mean, Emiya Gohan is like peak though. It's like, isn't he going to die of heart disease? And it's like, I mean, probably, but that's not a tragedy either. It's clear that he is living his life now. They even mentioned the delicious foods at the end, you know? Chainsaw Gohan, but it's just Makima meat. I mean, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? Like, he's missing a ball and, an eye, and it's not perfect, but he is living his life. Powers lie on the third to last page. She might be able to. I don't know. I mean, honestly, that is my optimistic thing. Is that it's like, yep, Dr. Power, Genius Power will definitely fix it. Power the Genius can be trusted with heart surgery. Surely. Surely. She is genius. She is genius. That's kind of it, isn't it? You just people die. People die when they are killed. Themes and such. Themes and such. That's humanity, baby. You live. You try your best to be happy with the time you have. Like, really, if you think about it, like, some of the hybrids were like 100+ years old, if I remember correctly, right? So even if Denji had, like, stayed Chainsaw Man... Also, hi! Hello, hello. He would have just, like, been this immortal, unaging guy. Even if everything had gone properly, and... you know, Aki was still alive, and, you know, all of his friends were still around. He would have just outlasted them, unable to die. Is that better than potentially dying of heart disease? I guess it depends on how you look at it. Are we happy? Are we ranting? It's a mix. It's a mix. We have themes and such. And that is my opinion. To be a human is to accept that life is fleeting and you have to make the most of it. And what Denji wanted at the very beginning of Chainsaw Man was a normal life. And being Chainsaw Man was not a normal life. Being a rando devil hunter with your 12-year-old boss and her 8 dogs. At least for the Chainsaw Man universe, that is a normal life. And I think with that context, I think Pochita's, you know, sacrifice is even sadder. He truly just wanted Denji to live his dreams. And it took him getting rid of himself to do that. But that's why he is a good boy. That is why Pochita is a good boy. By doing that, he saved both Asa and Denji. And I think that that's really beautiful. That's right, keep on dreaming. She had told that boy themes and such. It's sad, but at the same time, it's not, it's bittersweet, right? Because Pochita's wish was to be hugged and to be loved and to you know, not just be seen as a scary killing monster. And Denji gave that to him. He really did. And when Pochita tried to pay the favor back, it just ended up making Denji's life worse in ways. So at the end, he just wanted to pay Denji back. That's all. He just wants Denji to be happy. And sometimes that's just all you can get with a normal life, is to not to be Tsubahime on main, but live happily. Live happily. All the animals of the earth, all the humans, live happily. That is your goal. That is your, to quote Tsubahime, your goal, God said, live happily. Every animal, every human. Let's live happily. Just arrived. How bad was the end? It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad at all. It had issues, but I don't think it's bad. And I hope after ranting for an hour 40 minutes, maybe I've had some people's minds changed. Or maybe not, and either way, that's fine. It's a bit... it's a bit complicated to do... How do I explain this? In a way that makes sense. It always makes me a little nervous to do these sorts of streams as a VTuber. Because I feel like it's a lot to ask of people to engage wholly with art. And that's not a bad thing. It's just sometimes, you know, people watch streamers to escape things, and sometimes it does, you know, games and media can get a little real. And so as a VTuber, it sometimes is difficult for me to do these sorts of streams. It's not really about opinion. It's not really an opinion. It's more asking folks to engage, or trying to engage beyond the surface level of something. When you're just, you know, watching a streamer and not like a 12-hour video essay on like Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. I love you, Defunct Plan. I love you, Defunct Plan. Yeah, I don't know. I have the pretentious art degree, you know. I read. I work out at the library, you know. I read a lot of visual novels. I don't usually do discussion streams or things like that on it. Book recommendations? Oh, geez. I'm trying to think of like a print book I've read recently. The problem is I haven't been reading a lot of like actual print novels. I was really enjoying... Let me see what's on my shelf. I think the last good one I read was or the last really good one I remember. It is the Souls trilogy. The Souls trilogy, which is a smutty demon witch trilogy. And it's really good. It's not that smutty. It's not that smutty. I'm sorry. It's not that smutty, but it's really good. Oh! God damn it. I open my heart to you, my soul, for revenge, which is the title of the book. And this is how I am repaid. Okay, but actually, actual book recommendations. Oh jeez, the problem is I don't have a lot. The problem is print books are so expensive nowadays. I don't have a ton of them. I actually finally want to get a library card again. Because I saw this really cool looking one, which is about like a Korean tea shop that's only open at night and they serve spirits. I don't love the Minotaur CEO. Hey, listen. Oh yeah, I can chill Gore Screaming Show. Gore Screaming Show is very good. Gore Screaming Show is very good. It has themes and such. If you're a Chainsaw Man fan and you like themes and such. If you like themes and such. Use code Yuri. Oh yeah, there you go. If you get on Jast, it's on sale right now. If you use code Yuri on your first Jast purchase, you get 15% off your entire purchase, and it stacks with codes, or stacks with the sale. I'm trying to think. I read some supplemental stuff for like Tsubihime, some like classic like the shit that's in there. The problem is if I say, like, oh yeah, I read the Galactic Railway, or I read what's available in the Galactic Railway, people just be like, weeb. Does Aegis have themes? Does Dead and Aegis have themes and such? If you squint, it has and such. I wouldn't read Dead and Aegis for the themes. I'll be real. It's good, but it is a 100% a Guro Nukige. It has such. But no, Gore Screaming Show is actually really good. I actually do highly recommend Gore Screaming Show to people who like visual novels and have a decent tolerance for it. Probably Dory will find the theme. Surely. I mean, she did cover the Black Psych Femboy Simulator. Which I still need to watch the video on. But I saw it and I was like, I need to learn how to read Japanese so I can play it first. Because the idea of a Black Psych Femboy Simulator is really funny. It's the one where you like raise a femboy. And it's by Black Psych. Of all things. That's how you know they're real, though. That's how you know they're real. They just be making shit at Black Psych. They just be making shit. Yami no Koe apparently also has some really good themes and such. But yeah. I mean, they were just making anything. And then they went bankrupt twice, which is kind of crazy. But they're back now, so it's fine. What else? Sorry, these are all visual novels because that's mostly what I read nowadays. Not Kimagure Temptation. The Naira reincarnation's really good. It has a Steam version. It's an Arrow game, but like it does have a safer work version. Listen, with book prices nowadays, getting a bunch of visual novels on sale is unironically cheaper. Tsukihime, yeah. I mean, I feel I can't say Fate Stay Night or Tsukihime because people would already know that one. Would already know those ones. I need to vouch for the little guys that are not that little because they're available officially in English, but they're still little comparatively. This one has a sequel, which is Kimagure Temptation, but it's also standalone. And much shorter. Naira's really fucking good. Kimagure Temptation, I think I'm one of the 3 people that played it because I saw the big titty succubus and I was like, heh, that sounds stupid. A mystery game with a big titty succubus, that's kind of funny. And then it ended up making me cry. Which is bullshit. I actually ended up pre-ordering the special edition of Kimagure Temptation 2. So I own Kimagure Temptation 2 physically, and I have not read it because it's not in English. And my Japanese is not that good. It is one of my games I have on my to-play list whenever I learn more than 3 words in Japanese. But yes, I highly recommend Kimagure. It's short. I think it's like 10 hours to get everything. Very worth it, especially on sale. It's on Steam, but again, it has a patch. I actually played it the Steam version first, and I still really enjoyed it. So if eroge isn't your thing, you don't need to download it, or you don't need to download the patch. But yeah. Like, same thing here. Like, I think that the H stuff is more important in this one, because it's longer. But, like, you can play it either way. You can play it either way. Hold on, let me check my Steam library. Oh wait, hold on, I have the perfect game for people who want a short, brisk read and like themes and such. Are you ready for it? There you go. If you just want like a short little 300-hour romp and you like themes and such, that one's good. Although, technically you should read Higurashi first, but whatever. Do what you want. But you know what? If you like themes and such, to actually read through Mineko. It's good though! It's peak! It's just long! Listen, if you have time to play Rant 10 Showdown, you have time to play Umineko, because one of them is like 1,000 hours longer than the other one. And it's not Umineko. And then what else? What else do I have in my Steam library? Uh Where do you find this time? For Umineko? For Umineko, Umineko is actually split up into episodes, so you can very much just, like, kind of get to the end of an episode and then just kind of pause. Pause for a while. Let's see. What else do I got? Saints Row 4, my favorite visual novel. Oh, Please Be Happy's cute. I'd have to look at my jazz library too. Oh, I forgot I have the entire Nekopara collection. Yeah, I'll just hop on Gore Screaming Show though. Hop on Gore Screaming Show. That one has lots of themes and such. Saints Row 4 mentioned? Yeah. Listen, I have a lot of hours in Saints Row. I love Saints Row. Will I play it on stream? Absolutely not. I'm terrible at it. But I like it. I like it. There's a lot of games that I can never play on stream because it would be too embarrassing too, frankly. You know how brave I'm trying to be to schedule an Overwatch collab next week? Do you know how brave I'm being? Souls game. Oh, wasn't the last Saints Row Beyond garbage? I could. So I actually have a funny story about that. So I bought the Saints Row reboot. And then my computer was too ass to run it without, like, oh, like, every time I moved, the character was, like, ghosting behind. So I think I, like, got through the tutorial, like, military mission thing, and I was like, wow, the writing's not great, huh? But, like, whatever. I was ready to embrace some cringe, because people who say Saints Row hasn't always been cringe should go back and play Saints Row 2. Which is my favorite one, by the way, to be clear. Saints Row 2 is my favorite one, but good lord. But yeah, no, my computer just couldn't run it. It just couldn't run it. And then I was like, I guess I'm refunding it, because I'm not, because at the time, this was also at the time where so the only sorry, I'm about to embarrass myself. So the only reason I ended up upgrading a, like, had to be at least 5 years old PC was because I was playing Final Fantasy XIV and I could never get above 15 frames per second. Like, anytime like the gold saucer would run at like 10 FPS. And the reason I ended up getting rebuilding a computer was because I wanted to raid, because I liked raiding in World of Warcraft, and I wanted to try in Final Fantasy. No, that's not the embarrassing part. The reason I got humbled, because I was like, my computer is not that bad. My computer is not that bad. I think not E. Yeah, E5. E5, I think. The one with the hot Ramu like, centaur-looking guy. I think that was E5? I don't fucking know. Anyway, E5 has a lot of weather effects. And anytime I would queue into it, because I played Monk at the time. Anytime I would get that one in the raid roulette, in the normal raid roulette, I spent the entire fight on the floor because my computer would literally run 1 FPS. If that. If I was lucky. Sometimes it would just completely, when he would summon, like, the extra, like, centaurs or whatever to, like, race across, my computer would just completely freeze for, like, 30 seconds. And eventually somebody was like, "Are you a bot?" They would harass me. And then I would start, like, doing my rotation. And then, because my computer was so laggy, I would just immediately die as soon as it summoned more lightning. Because my computer would just drop to, like, 1 FPS. Anyway, I was so embarrassing. I, like, quit the game. I, like, closed the game, and I was like, I have to upgrade my computer. I have to build a new PC. This is too much. So anyway, I did end up building my PC. That's the PC I have now. And you know what? I stopped playing Monk because I hated downtime, and I switched to healer. And guess what? I got purple numbers. Purple numbers that don't mean anything if you don't know what Final Fantasy XIV is. So bam, in Savage even. So bam. Bam! Who's laughing now? Who thinks who's a bot now? That's what I thought. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be asked in party chat with a bunch of randos if your monk is a bot. So anyway, that's there's a lot of so yeah, that was the computer I tried to play the new Saints Row on. And to be clear, I never had a good computer until after I upgraded. Like, when I bought Saints Row, when I bought Saints Row, it was when I had a laptop, and it wasn't a gamer laptop or anything, because this was like, I think this was before they really made gamer laptops. I know I'm old, etc, etc. Old. Get it out of your system. And I just thought it was, like, normal for people playing games, unless they had, like, supercomputers, to have to look at the floor anytime they were moving through a crowded area, because anytime I would look up and, like, the buildings and textures were loading in, the computer would just just go, like, 2 FPS. So the entire time I was playing, I had my camera angled down at the ground. I just thought that was normal. So I picked up Saints Row 3. And I was like, huh, yeah, this game is... How do people play this without a supercomputer? My roommate at the time was like, why are you looking at the floor? I was like, so the game doesn't lag, and she's like, it's already only going 20 FPS, what do you mean lag? And I pulled the camera up so you can see the buildings. It drops to like 3. I just thought that was normal. I thought that was normal. You have to understand, before I like played Saints Row and like Overwatch and things, the games I would play were like World of Warcraft and like Age of Empires and like Roller Coaster Tycoon and shit. You didn't need a supercomputer for. So I just kind of assumed that you just needed a really, really good computer to be able to run those games more than 10 FPS. Because it was either that or I was playing on a PS2. And like, to be completely transparent, when I play Drakengard, that game also lags on PS2. So it's just normal. It's just normal to me. People are like, you can't tell the difference between 60 FPS and like 120 or whatever, and I'm like, no, because all of it looks like magic to me. All of it looks the same to me, because I'm like, wow, look, it's not lagging. And even nowadays, with a computer that actually runs, I'm still like, I don't see the difference between 30 and 60 and 120 or whatever. It's like, if I'm ever playing a game and you're like, why is it choppy? That's probably because I have it set to like 30 FPS or something. I am old. I'll admit it. I'm old. I'm old. Not that old. Listen, Zoo Tycoon was peak. Zoo Tycoon was peak. It's not my fault that people nowadays don't have taste. It's not my fault that people won't hop on Age of Mythology. Which, by the way, is peak, and I can't play it because I'm bad at it. I just like summoning a shit ton of sphinxes. When the fuck did Command and Conquer 3 come out? Hold on, let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. How old is that? How old is that? That doesn't sound that old. Command and Conquer 3. That was 2007! How is... Is 2007 old? Oh my god. Oh my god, wait, when did Zoo Tycoon come out? The Zoo Tycoon came out 2001. And it was awesome. Oh, 2007. I feel like 2007 isn't that old. It's not that old. It's not that old. Yeah, the Wii came out 2000. Good lord. Good lord. Guys, we gotta go. We gotta go. Oh my god, people are so young. People are so young. 2001. Wait, the expansion packs came out in 2002? Oh my, okay, the complete collection came out in 2003. That's what I had. That's what I had. I had Zoo Tycoon Complete Collection. So see, I'm not that old. I'm not that old. That was 2003. Definitely not old. At all. You guys are wrong. When did World of Warcraft come out? I'm about to... Oh, Jesus. Wait, when did... Wait, hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Because I started playing around when Burning Crusade was about to come out. And that was like 2007. Alright, everyone. It's time to pack it up. It's time to pack it up. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, everyone. Make sure to, make sure to, tip your grandma. Tip your grandma, Dragon, for teaching you themes and such. Read Gore Screaming Show. Use code... The Jazz sale's going on right now. If you haven't, bought anything on Jazz, use code Yuri. You get 15% off on top of sales for your entire first purchase. And I get a kickback for an entire year after your first purchase. So if you are like, damn, I really want to start reading some smut, I got you. I got you. But yeah. The ASMR stream from this morning is back up. I did check and thank you for this. Thank you for the thank you, Trevor. I appreciate it. I'm happy to help you with the themes and such. ASMR stream is back up. I did check when the mic started humming and it didn't seem that bad, but if it's super noticeable, I'll probably go back in and edit it out. More ASMR Thursday. I might do another stream tomorrow because I was so distracted this one. But yes, I'm gonna go take a nap. I've been up since 4 a.m. running off of an orange juice with Monster Energy spiked in it. So I'm gonna go to sleep now. But everyone, have a lovely rest of your day. And I will check Discord after I go off. Because I got a bunch of pings. So I will see you guys. Thank you, Lava, for the $2. Thank you. There it goes.
Thank you, big sis.
I appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.